What could be more painful for a young man than being mocked and despised by a girl watching you squirm? And look so pathetic is the best entertainment there is. Go on, get angry. Kazuma could only stand there in a daze, listening to the insults pouring from Zua's mouth. Honestly, just thinking about the fact that you're my childhood friend is more than I can stand. At that very moment, he felt something inside him shatter. Takayashiki Zua was no ordinary girl. She was one of the most popular idols today, and also the granddaughter of Takayashiki Taizo, the chairman of the Taikai Group, the largest conglomerate in all of Japan. This made her just like a real-life princess. Indeed, her wealth and influence were far beyond those of any average person. In contrast, I am Suzuki Kazuma, an ordinary gloomy loner. I don't have a single friend, let alone a girlfriend. The perfect example of a social outcast. If there was anything notable about me, it was only that I happened to be Takayashiki Zua's childhood friend. But I had spent my entire life living in Zua's shadow. I didn't want to be special like Zua. I just wanted to experience having friends like a normal person. I once told Zua about my wish, and her response was, back then Zua laughed loudly with pure contempt. Are you stupid? You're just a gloomy failure. Know your place. Kazuma was speechless, his eyes vacant as he heard those words. She continued her relentless barrage. Engrave this into your head. Being my childhood friend alone has already used up all the luck you'll ever have in your life. Your only value is simply being my childhood friend. The words know your place kept repeating. The things Zua had constantly told me since we were kids weighed on me like a curse. But even so, I still longed for a normal life. And then came the spring of my first year in high school. Then one day, while he was intently focused on reading a book, his phone suddenly vibrated with a notification. It was a message from Zua. She sent him this text, Kazu. Can you come to the station at 3 p.m. today? I'm going to karaoke with Ayaka and the others. Want to join us? His answer was already drafted, but because he was too timid, he didn't dare send, I'm not freaking going, you trashy girl. Seeing no reply, more enticing messages were sent to him, Kazu. Didn't you say you wanted to make friends? And a girlfriend too? The best way is to join an elite group like ours. Come on. Be confident and don't hesitate anymore. Kazuma's eyes were glued to his phone screen. Ayaka, you mean Hiragi Ayasa, that flashy Gyaru girl. Ayasa's image appeared in his mind. I've never even spoken to her before. Why invite me? I thought it was finally the chance for me to change. Wanting to change, Kazuma tried his best to dress up. He even had to summon all his courage to walk into a barbershop. Before long, the karaoke bar sign loomed before him. Kazuma opened the door. He stepped inside with a shy expression, hoping to change, to become a completely new version of himself. As soon as they saw Kazuma, the whole group burst into loud laughter right in his face. The boys started picking him apart. Wait. He actually got a haircut. Holy crap, that's hilarious. So gross, seriously? He really showed up. The girls were also pointing and gossiping. And he's even wearing a blazer. Are you kidding? He smells exactly like a barbershop. Zua spoke up, acting fake. Come on now. Don't laugh. He tried his best after all, only Ayasa remained silent, looking at him seriously. At that moment, Kazuma understood everything. I see. This was all a setup from the start, wasn't it? Suddenly, Zua showed no remorse at all, and leaned in close to him. Why are you just standing there? What's wrong, Kazuma? Then she smirked and gave him an order. Now cry for me, I bet 10,000 yen. That you'd cry like the little baby? Zua began to egg him on. Just tell me one thing. Kazuma looked down, his voice trembling as he asked his question. What did I do wrong? What did I do to deserve this? She replied instantly, isn't it obvious? Zua laughed with pure excitement. Because you're my slave, that's why. Now perform for my entertainment. Go on, squirm in misery. As if that wasn't enough. She pointed straight at his face and raised her voice. Honestly? Just thinking about the fact that you're my childhood friend is more than I can stand. His pupils constricted instantly. I see, so this is it. This must be the feeling. When a relationship shatters into a million pieces. Felt something inside me break. Then Kazuma bluntly spoke up. Yeah, me too. The look on his face showed he wasn't joking at all. Let's cut ties. Zua was stunned, frozen in her tracks. Immediately after, she leaned back and screamed, What a loser like you dares to talk back to me. Do you even realize what you're saying? Kazuma simply replied with indifference. You were the one complaining first. Zua continued, pointing. Don't mess with me, you idiot. I have every right to hate you, but you have no right to hate me. Suddenly, Kazuma slammed something down on the table. His eyes became cold and empty. What kind of Japanese ideals are these? A brat like this is a top world idol. The world's gone insane. After that, he turned around and just walked away. The group of friends, seeing her frozen in shock, tried to reassure her. Zua-chan, you don't need to worry about that guy. What a load of crap. Who does he think he is trying to act cool? Suddenly, Ayasa looked at the table in confusion. Wait a minute. On the table was the bill Kazuma had placed down, and along with it were traces of water. Is the table really broken? The group immediately erupted in disbelief. You're right, there's no way an ordinary person could crack this table with their bare hands. It must have been cracked from the start. Huh? No way that guy did it right. Zua's entire body was shaking uncontrollably. A young man looked at her and spoke up. Hey, Zua-chan? Never. But despite that, at this moment, Zua was sobbing and shouting loudly, I will never forgive you for daring to destroy our friendship. At the same time, Kazuma stood there staring blankly ahead. It turned out he was looking toward a utility pole. For some reason, I feel so relieved. It's as if the world is glowing. Images of Zua flooded back once again. Why did I let her control me like that? All this time, I'd rather spend high school alone than sell my soul to a demon in human form. But then his eyes flashed with resolve. That's right, from now on. I don't have to live as her shadow anymore. Kazuma stood in the middle of the main road looking straight ahead. I'm free. And then that night, as darkness fell over a building that was still lit up, the chairman of the Taikai group and principal of Taikai Academy, Takayashiki Taizo, was sitting seriously reading a stack of documents. Just then someone called out to him. Taizo's face immediately brightened. Oh, Zua! She ran straight into the room with an annoyed look. Listen, Grandpa. Kazu was so mean to me today. He said he doesn't want anything to do with me anymore. Hearing this, Zua's cousin Takayashiki, Sakura also found it a bit hard to believe. Zua-chan, are you serious? Zua was a bit startled to see her cousin. Ah, you're here to visit? Sakura-chi. Then Zua began to complain and tell her everything. I can't believe it. Kazu has never gone against my wishes before, not even once. Sakura looked at her with a look of lingering doubt. Kazu did that. Then she noticed something unusual and asked, Is it possible that you said something wrong to Kazu-kun? Hit where it hurts. She immediately jumped in surprise, but she still refused to admit it. That's not true. Zua glanced to the side. Well, I only said things like, you are my slave, and that being childhood friends with him was humiliating, that's all. After hearing that, Sakura knew exactly why. That sounds really bad. Taizo, sitting in his chair, agreed with her. Exactly, Zua. It's only natural for Kazuma to be angry. This made Zua jump. She stammered as she called out to him. Still not realizing her own actions were wrong, Zua kept arguing back. That's not it, I was just teasing him a little bit. And just like that, she went on a long rant to justify herself. I'm not wrong, ever since Kazu started high school. He suddenly said he wanted to make friends and get a girlfriend. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? Sakura interjected, It's normal to want to make more friends. Suddenly she shrieked. No, it's not normal at all. Oh my god, so it's a case of the more you love, the more you hurt. Zua beat her chest and declared one thing. Because Kazu has me after all. Then she went on a narcissistic rant about herself. The world's cutest princess is already by his side. Not to mention the idea of him wanting to get close to someone else, especially another girl, is unbelievable. So I have the right to tease him a bit, don't I? Right, after all, in this entire world, I am the one who understands him best. Zua screamed until tears fell from her eyes. Because I love him so much. Seeing his precious granddaughter so distressed, Aizo immediately did a 180-degree turn. That's right, it's all Kazuma's fault. Sakura could only sigh in helplessness from the side. And there it is, the biased grandfather has appeared. Then she looked at Zua and offered some advice. But if you want to make up, Zua is the one who should go apologize. Hearing this, Zua shrieked, no way. Then she pointed her finger directly at Sakura. Sakurachi, you're Kazu's teacher, right? Think of something and fix this, make it so. Kazu has to apologize to this cute Zua and say, I love you so much, Zua. And then kiss me. After hearing that, Sakura asked back with a helpless smile, a kiss, huh? Then she looked at Taizo and questioned, Grandpa, you originally intended for Kazu-kun to be Zua-chan's husband, didn't you? He quickly confirmed, of course. That is why I had you act as his teacher, to teach him martial arts and leadership skills. Besides, Zua likes him, and at the same time his talent is truly one of a kind. Sakura furrowed her brows. You are absolutely right about his talent. I have never seen anyone like him before. Her memories of Kazuma came flooding back. Since elementary school, he had always received consistent grade 3s. He intentionally aimed for average scores, just to blend in. It was all part of the training, to become Zua's shadow. If he didn't intentionally hide it, forget about just getting top marks. The whole school, the country, no, the whole world would be in an uproar. And that's not all. He was also extremely popular with girls. I can't even count the number of times we had to transfer schools because they liked him too much. And thanks to that, he never even realized that he was so popular. Hearing her crush being praised, Zua excitedly rested her chin on her hands. Of course. That's my Kazu for you. Taizo also laughed along and replied, exactly, he is a prime candidate to inherit the Taikai group, Sakura thought to herself. But now that he has severed ties with Zua-chan, Kazuma now no longer has any reason to hold himself back anymore. The room was filled with the sound of their discussion. Whether it's sports, academics, or romantic relationships, everything might spiral out of control. Soon it was the next morning at school. In the hallway, everyone was happily walking and chatting. When Kazuma stepped inside, his desk and chair had been moved to the middle of the class with a note, "There's no place for you to sit." "Ha ha!" The whole class started whispering. "What's this?" "It seems like some guy named Suzuki went against Princess Zua yesterday. Who could be that stupid?" Seeing that he just stared blankly at it and thought to himself, "I see, so you want to play it like this, huh? I've thought about this before. That so-called childhood friend of mine, with her massive inheritance being a princess, a top idol and all that. She's no different from the scum of humanity." He lowered his head. "Now there are two choices. One, put the desk and chair back and continue studying in silence. Most students would do that when caught in a similar situation. The remaining choice is two, run to the teacher's lounge. Well, I'm only listing this for fun, because this is Taikai Academy. Taikai Academy. Its mission is to cultivate S-rank talents and make Taikai stand at the top of the world. The public also knows it by the name, the S-rank Academy. Academics, sports, arts, those who excel in various fields will be exempted from tuition and provided with free dormitory housing. Students from all over the country are recruited through a special scholarship system. Those with exceptional talent will belong to the upper class, while the normal ones will be labeled as lower class. This hierarchy permeates the entire academy. Sometimes it's hidden out of sight, and sometimes we can see it clearly. The most influential person in Taikai is her Takayasuki Zua, also known as Princess Zua, and her grandfather is the principal. So that old bald man will be very biased towards Zua. If I take my complaint to the teacher's lounge, the result will just be a total mess. Kazuma quietly asked himself one thing. So if you were me, would you choose the first way? Put the desk and chair back and keep quiet throughout the lesson. Suddenly he clicked his pen. Hell no. Since I've decided to embrace loneliness anyway, then we have a third choice. He sat down. A note like this would be enough. It turned out he had written a response on it. In that case, I will study by myself. Since this is a request from Takayasuki-san, please count my attendance. Suzuki Kazuma saw this crowd starting to gossip again. Holy crap, seriously. Isn't he afraid of Princess Zua? At that moment, Kazuma had already walked out into the hallway. It'll be quite troublesome if someone finds me now. He reached a certain room and opened it. Here it is, the underground library. This was a place that most students, and even some teachers, didn't even know about. Because he often visited the library, a senior from the library management board had let him into this secret spot. Kazuma walked down the steps thinking to himself, I'll just wait here until classes are over. I've always wanted a normal life, but since things have turned out like this, I probably won't be able to make any more friends, and definitely not a girlfriend. His hand gripped the doorknob, preparing to open the room. If that's the case, I'll just live a quiet life alone. Oh my God. The moment he stepped in, his eyes landed right on a female student who was stripping off her clothes, leaving only her underwear. The girl saw him and her face immediately turned beet red. The place must be full now. Please go jump in the ocean for me. Just like that, an ear-piercing scream rang out. Kazuma thought to himself at that moment, I didn't know about the story that would begin from this very second. The story of my search for a normal life, only to find my wide-open eyes surrounded by amazing girls. The two of them just stood there staring at each other, amidst a series of days that were anything but normal. As for Zua, she was still looking forward to that Kazu guy. I wonder when he'll come crawling back to apologize to me in tears. Back to a certain day. Zua was starting a live stream on YouTube. Everyone's idol Zua Hime, also known as Takayasuki Zua, is here. Her channel name was Zua Hime-sama. Shining bright, know your place? She had over 1,000 subscribers. Zua continued with the main point of today's video. Today's topic is things that have been driving me crazy lately. Let's talk about it, shall we? Today I went to karaoke with some girls from class. Obviously it was girls only, right? I mean, I can't talk to boys, they are so scary. Zua sighed and continued. At that time, there was someone who wasn't very friendly. That guy just keeps sulking. And he even walked out halfway. Seriously. He completely killed the mood. Listen up, my loyal subjects. Don't ever ruin the atmosphere, okay? One for all, that's how it is. Then she smiled happily. Oh, right. Finally, here is some important news. I've got a new job. Oh my goodness. I'll be forming a unit with voice actress Minato, Amane-chan, and we'll be releasing a CD. Amane-chan and I are at the same school and the same agency. I'm so happy. The debut event will take place next Sunday in Saman, so everyone please watch out for it. Admission is completely free. Make sure you come to see it. Your idol Ruahim signing off. See you again. Back to Kazuma. He looked at the bashful girl before him in total disbelief. A beautiful girl, with hair covering her eyes and cat-patterned underwear. What a predicament this is. Then Kazuma looked away. Sorry about earlier. I'm Kazuma Suzuki from Class 1-3. While putting her clothes back on, she introduced herself. I'm Amane. Amane Minato from the 3rd year class. I'm also sorry for raising my voice. Kazuma turned back to reassure her. No, I should have checked before opening the door. You also heard about this place from the library, senpai. Didn't you? He felt a little disappointed. So it turns out I wasn't the only one who was told. Amane had finished putting on her short shorts. Then she peeked through the door and said, I'm done. She still looked a bit awkward. Sorry to keep you waiting. He looked at her and suddenly fell into deep thought. Then Kazuma asked out of curiosity, why were you wearing a gym uniform in the first place, Amane? And why did you choose to change clothes here? Amane scratched her head awkwardly. I'm sorry. I was looking for a place where I could sing and dance, so I asked someone to guide me here. She awkwardly waved her hands back and forth. Actually, I'm a voice actress. I have a live performance coming up, so I thought I could practice here. Hearing that, Kazu simply let out an exclamation. Oh, so you're in the entertainment industry, including his childhood friend. Individuals from the entertainment world who came to this academy, she was also one of them. Special student selected to carry great expectations. Kazu glanced around and suddenly noticed something. You even brought that huge mirror over there. You're quite dedicated, aren't you? Wait, but what about class? Suddenly, Amane looked a bit flustered and began to explain. This morning when I arrived at school, my desk and chair had been moved out into the hallway. Her face was clouded with sadness. What she went through was exactly the same as him. There was a note saying there's no room for girls. Kazu fell into deep thought. I feel like I've heard this somewhere before. Recalling the scene from earlier, he realized that must have been the reason why she was crying. Suddenly, his phone began to vibrate incessantly. Kazu took it out to check. As it turned out, they were messages from Zua. Kazu, where are you? You're late. Hey, did you see my video yesterday? Everyone is calling you a terrible person. I wonder what I should do next. Maybe I'll mention your name in the next video, shall I? My fans will probably come to bash you then. Better do it soon. Hurry up and drag your desk back into the classroom. Also, if you get down on your knees and beg, I might forgive you. But he didn't even seem to bother reading them. He directly pressed the block button. Zua has been blocked. Then Kazu turned back to Amane wondering, but why did this happen to you? Or are you a student with a special scholarship? She became flustered. No, that's not it. Even though I'm a voice actress, I'm not famous at all. That's why. Ultimately, both my appearance and my voice ended up like this. Hearing that, he found it a bit hard to understand. I can't see your face clearly because of your hair, but your voice is very cute. At Kazu's compliment, it immediately made her feel shy yet very happy, like the ringing of a clear bell. Your voice is very pleasant, he said. At that, Amane shyly turned her face away. No, it's not. There are many VTubers and voice actors with voices much better than mine. Compared to Takahashi Zua and the others, I'm just... Her expression turned sorrowful again. Besides someone like me being put in a unit with Zua, maybe that's why I'm being bullied so much. Actually, it's the same on my SNS. If Princess Zua forms a group with someone like her, her status will be lowered. So many comments like that kept flooding in. Hearing this, Kazu inwardly thought to himself, there really are some crazy fans out there, aren't there? I guess pigs attract other pigs. He looked at her and asked a question first. Why did you agree to work with that pig? Hearing that word, Amane was completely shocked. She asked in bewilderment, Pig, what do you mean by that? Kazu realized his mistake and quickly corrected himself. I accidentally said it out loud. I meant Takahashi Zua. She immediately panicked and tried to advise him. You shouldn't say things like that. If anyone hears you bad-mouthing Zua-san... Before she could even finish, Kazu declared, it's fine there's nobody else here. That's true, but... Amane's eyes cast downward. It was the agency's decision. Zua-san and I attend the same school and are under the same agency branch. Because I'm gloomy and dull, they thought I would be a perfect supporting role. Hearing that, Kazu fell back into thought. The phrasing was very impressive under the same agency as Zua. I see it must be Teikai Music, right? That agency would do anything to push Zua forward. After all, the Teikai group belongs to Zua's grandfather. No doubt about it, the desk incident was Zua's idea. Even if it was the agency's choice, Zua probably couldn't stand being in a group with someone she considers lower status than herself. But even so, this is just too cruel to Minato-san. Suddenly, Amane spoke up hesitantly. But I will accept being the supporting role. This is a rare opportunity that I've managed to get. To Kazu's astonishment, she affirmed, and because of that, at least I won't drag anyone down. I will do everything within my power. Kazu immediately questioned, so, that's why you came here to practice? Yes. The corners of his mouth curled slightly. I see. You're really cool, Minato-san. Kazu reached out his hand toward her. I'll join you in your practice. His expression at the moment was very gentle and friendly, though. To be honest, all I can do is evaluate from an amateur's perspective. But if you're okay with that. Seeing this, she was a bit taken aback. But then she took his hand. Amane smiled very happily. I'll believe in you, Suzuki-kun. Suddenly his heart skipped a beat. Wait, this person! Isn't she way cuter than that pig? Before long, it was already lunchtime. Kazu had just gone to buy a can of drink. He thought to himself, Minato-san has been practicing all morning. I'm worried she'll get dehydrated. Just then a loud shout rang out. Hey, Kazu! It was Zua. She angrily pointed her finger directly at his face. Where have you been? Who do you think you are skipping class like that? Kazu felt instantly exhausted. Here we go again? Zua continued her monologue. Hey, why are you ignoring me? You even blocked me. You should know better than to ignore. Princess Zua. She began her narcissistic rant. Or maybe, am I so beautiful that you can't even look at me directly? What, are you shy or something? He didn't give a damn. Kazu walked right past her as if she were a total stranger, leaving Zua completely mortified. She shouted after him, What hey? Suddenly a hand was placed on his shoulder. Yo, you gloomy bastard. A boy looking rather irritated confronted him. Did you even hear a word of that? That's no way to treat Zua-san, you know. Kazu immediately realized who it was. This must be Asano, the special scholarship student. The hope of the baseball club, right? Does this guy have nothing better to do than follow Zua around? If you have that much time on your hands, why don't you go practice? Maybe this guy should follow Minato-san's example. Seeing that he didn't respond, Asano immediately flew into a rage. Hey, what are you looking at? You messing with me. He raised his fist as if to strike. Say something, damn it. The punch was thrown, but suddenly Kazu vanished like a superhuman. He was instantly left dazed on the spot. Huh? I definitely just punched him. So why didn't it feel like anything? Kazu was already behind him with a sinister look on his face. Sensing the murderous intent, he slowly turned his head. Asano was terrified when he saw the boy behind him. Since when did this guy get behind me? The crowd around them began to murmur. Wait, did he just punch that guy? It looked like it didn't even faze him. Or did he miss? No way, is Asano really that weak? Suddenly, Kazu spoke up mockingly. Asano, what's wrong? You've gotten quite slow, haven't you? But he, fueled by humiliation and rage, lunged forward. What the hell are you barking about? At that moment, the princess unexpectedly shouted to intervene. Stop it! Asano turned his head. Zua Hime. She put her hands on her hips and declared, the only one allowed to touch Kazu is me. You only act when I command it. Zua pointed her finger forward firmly. Don't you dare lay a single finger on him. Know your place. Asano stood there stunned and stammered his agreement. Huh, fine. Suddenly, Kazu spoke up. Hey, princess! She immediately smiled happily toward Kazu. But immediately after that expression of hers turned to stone. Do you really think you're cool or something? Zua let out a gasp, unable to believe her own ears. Kazu continued, listen and listen well. No one here is allowed to bother or bully me. His face was incredibly serious. I've had enough. I don't care who you are. He spoke as he walked away. Don't bother me anymore. Immediately afterward, Zua slumped down onto the floor. The whole crowd swarmed around her. Are you okay? Zua Jaime, what's with this guy? She softly exclaimed. Her eyes were now filled with hearts. Is so cool. A week passed in a flash. Meanwhile, inside the library room, Amon was putting all her effort into practicing her dancing and singing. Suddenly she tripped and almost fell, but a hand caught her just in time. It was Kazu. He was still there by her side. Are you okay? Nestled in his arms, Amane shyly called out, Suzuki-kun, please let me up. She stammered, I'm sorry. Every time But before she could blame herself, Kazu reassured her. Don't worry about it. I don't want you to get hurt before the actual performance. She lowered her gaze and spoke softly. But you really are amazing, Suzuki-kun. No matter where you are, whenever I trip, you always appear just in time to catch me. Kazu only gave a cool response. It's nothing special. Amon suddenly raised her voice. That's not true. She directly expressed her feelings. Since that day, you've always been watching over me and encouraging me. You have no idea how much you've helped me, Suzuki-kun. Once again, I just want to say thank you so much. After hearing those words, Kazu was instantly frozen in place. No one had ever said anything like that to him before. Then he glanced to the side. But really, I didn't do anything special. And so they continued their back-and-forth conversation. More importantly, for the part where you return to the center of the stage, doing a spin would look much better than just walking back. You always lose your balance at that part, don't you? But in that case, will it really make me stand out on stage? Kazu rubbed his chin and replied, I see. He then held up a finger. Then can you leap back in a single motion? That could really help you stand out. She waved her hands in panic. That's impossible. It's at least 5 meters to the center from there. Suddenly, Kazu lifted his foot. Is that so? But if you use the strength in your knee joints like this, he had just... spun around and leaped high into the air. While she watched in sheer amazement, he landed perfectly back on the ground. Amon was left completely speechless, her mouth hanging wide open. Kazu turned his head slightly. See, just like that. Sweating, she shook her head vigorously. There's no way I can do that. Then she grew curious again. What was that just now? Did you jump on a trampoline? No ordinary person could ever do that. Suzuki-kun is your physical grade really high? He nonchalantly replied, no. Ever since elementary school, I've always scored a 3 out of 5. Upon hearing this, Amane was perplexed. I see. But then how? Kazu rubbed his chin thought for a moment and then answered. Maybe it's because of your posture. I know I just can't seem to fix this habit of mine. Even my dance coach gets frustrated with me about it. He suddenly fell silent for a moment. Under Amane's wide-eyed gaze, Kazu suggested, well then, what if you utilize that shyness of yours? He balled his hands and held them up, mimicking a Nyan pose. Then Amane shyly followed along Nyan. Nyan-kun perfect. Now try jumping into that dance move again. And so Amane performed with an incredibly adorable expression. As soon as he saw it, Kazu finalized it. Nice, that was super cute. At this point, Amane stopped and panted. Somehow, she was both exhausted and happy. Somehow it actually worked. He quickly congratulated her. That's great. You should ask the designer to make you a tail and cat ears. Suddenly, as if remembering something, she bit her lip slightly. Ah. Amon stood bashfully before him. I'm sorry, but I can't use that for the performance. Kazu couldn't understand and asked, why not? She gathered all her courage and said, because I don't think it would match Zuo-san, and my role is to help Zuo-san shine. Kazu fell silent for a moment. Then he let out a long sigh. Minato-san, are you really okay with that? In response, she affirmed, yeah. Regardless, singing and dancing aren't exactly my specialties. I really want you to see me acting. Suddenly, Amane smiled, as bright as an angel descending to earth. After all, I am a voice actress. I want to play an anime character. Kazu was a bit dazed as he heard her continue. That's why I'm always trying my best. I hope that even just a little bit, it will give me a chance to do voice acting. Then he gave a slight smile. I see. He thought to himself, she's so optimistic. Watching the lively and friendly Amane before him, Kazu seemed to drift into deep thought. And whenever Minato-san talks about voice acting, she looks so full of life. I can really feel just how much she loves her work. Just like that, he couldn't help but blurt out, I'm so jealous. Perplexed, she let out a confused, huh? Kazu shyly rubbed his head. It's just, you see, I don't have any dreams or goals at all. Curiously, she questioned, is there anything you want to do? Without hesitation, Kazu spoke his mind. If I had to say I want to have a normal life, I'm fine with nothing special happening. I want a normal life. One where I can confidently say this is who I am. I guess that's it. And just like that, he received countless words of encouragement and support from Amane. It's okay, I'm sure you can do it. If it's you, Suzuki-kun, you can become normal. You can even become anything at all. Being cheered on by a girl for the first time, he felt a bit awkward. But then a rare, happy smile spread across his face. Thanks, Minato-san. Seeing that the guy was actually quite handsome when he smiled, Maine felt a little shy. Then she spoke up again. By the way, Suzuki-kun, there's something I've been wondering about. She was incredibly flustered. I heard that you had an argument with Zuo-san the other day. I thought it might have been because of me. Hearing this, he quickly reassured her, that's not a big deal. But she was still very worried. But Zuo-san is your childhood friend, right? Isn't she? Am I making things difficult for you? Kazu waved his hand. No, not at all. He let out a sigh and revealed, the truth is, she isn't my childhood friend or anything like that anymore, so I don't think of it that way. Amon realized, is that so? Then suddenly she hesitated as if wanting to say something. Amon gathered her courage and spoke up loudly. Suzu, no Kazuma-kun. She pressed her whole body close to Kazu and made her proposal. If you'd like, Amon blurted out, both nervous and embarrassed. Would you like to become... Before she could finish, from outside, Zuo suddenly threw the door open. She was radiating a murderous aura, just like a terrifying demon. Amane's eyes widened in shock the moment she saw Zuo. Meanwhile, Zuo's face was twisted in a hideous expression, her voice growling out every single word. Hey you! What the hell are you doing with my Kazu in such a cramped place like this? Amane was immediately intimidated, breaking into a cold sweat. Zuo-san stared at the two of them standing so close together. Zuo was absolutely furious. I heard Kazu was here, so I came to check on him. But what the hell is this? She pointed her finger directly at them. Why are you with this piece of garbage? This girl isn't even famous. Zuo continuously hurled insults at Amane. You absolute garbage scum idiot half-wit! This made him wonder to himself. Is this girl an elementary schooler or something? Zuo kept going. So the reason Kazu disappeared after school was to meet this girl. Why do you care about and hang out with such a gloomy, ugly and hopeless girl like her? Her mouth didn't stop for a single second. Then, Zua suddenly bowed her head and fell silent for a moment. Then tears began to stream down her face. No way! How could this happen? No way. Why isn't Kazu by my side? Why is he with this piece of trash instead? Amane quickly spoke up. Zua-san, it's my fault. Kazuma-kun was only helping me. Suddenly, Zua stepped forward and grabbed her collar. Zua's face was now filled with nothing but terror and jealousy. Kazuma-kun. Terrified, Amane quickly corrected herself. Suzuki-kun. It's Suzuki-kun. Zua pointed her finger and yelled, got it. Know your place. You want to get close to Kazu? Wait another million years, you weirdo with the long bangs. Then Zua suddenly reached out, wanting to lift her hair. I bet you look hideous under there. But once lifted, she revealed an incredibly adorable schoolgirl. I just like a frightened puppy. Instantly, Zua feared that her own position was being overshadowed. She immediately let go, letting the hair fall back. Did you show that to Kazu? Man was puzzled. Huh? Then Zua went frantic. It's too open. Now I have to tape it even more shut. Hey, right at that moment, Kazu spoke up. He said coldly, put that away. Aren't you two in the same group? And where did you even get tape from? Seeing him step in, she replied, exactly. Anyway, someone like her is just a side character. Kazu didn't hesitate to stand up for Amane. My partner is working hard every day, just to be recognized. Stop bothering her. Hearing that, she jumped in surprise. What? Zua immediately felt the surge of jealousy. Why are you siding with her? I'm your childhood friend. Why won't you stand by me? Kazu replied coldly. I support those who work hard, and also... His face was completely devoid of emotion. You and I aren't childhood friends anymore. Did you forget what I told you? Zua was paralyzed by those words, standing completely frozen in place. Tears fell from her eyes involuntarily. She went on a long rant. What's this, Kazu? Are you still mad about the other day? That was just a joke. With hollow eyes, he gave a mocking smirk. A joke. Kazu took slow steps closer. Think of how many people have been hurt by those so-called jokes of yours. You're in high school now. You should know right from wrong. He leaned in close to Zua. You're the one who needs to know your place. After saying that, he walked away, leaving her both embarrassed and stunned. Kazu then called out, let's go, Minato-san. Coming. Behind them, Zua's curses followed. Kazu, you idiot! I'm way cuter than her. Both of them turned back to look at her as she kept blabbering on. I won't lose to that trashy voice actress, but the door still slammed shut. A while later, somewhere on the school grounds, Amon looked at Kazu anxiously. I'm sorry for making Zua-san angry. He quickly replied, you don't need to apologize, Minato-san. Besides, you just gave me a great idea. An idea if we can provoke that girl's excessive arrogance, then we can kick her out of the game. We'll call it the Amanian dance? Her pupils instinctively widened. Huh? Later at a diner. Inside, Amane was holding an item. Suzuki-kun, a black cat pin? What is this for? At that moment, Kazu explained while bringing over 2 drinks. I bought it earlier. Minato-san, do you have a YouTube channel? She immediately replied, yes, sort of. Wear this and perform the cat dance from yesterday. I guarantee it will attract everyone's attention. But my channel has almost no subscribers? I don't think anyone will watch it. Kazu was completely certain. I'll help you with that part. Besides, with your dancing, I'm sure everything will be fine. Trust me. Amane then nodded in agreement. Okay, I understand. Then Kazu brought up another matter. So when you film the video, would you consider pinning up your bangs? Minato-san, you're really cute. It's a waste to keep covering your eyes like this. Her face turned as red as a tomato when she heard him say that. But it's just, I feel scared when others look at me. I can't feel relaxed without my hair covering me. I think I need to fix that habit soon, sorry. Hearing that Kazu didn't push it. I see. Does your workplace have anything to say about this? Not really, at least until the group disbands, because it fits the image of a supporting role. I see. So this is a way for her to go solo. Yeah, that's the plan. The corporation wants us to disband after releasing 1 CD. Showbiz is truly dirty. Amon waved her hands flusteredly. But the place where I work basically belongs to Zua-san's father. But speaking of popularity and looks, I'm no match for her. She was so anxious that she clenched her hands tightly. Going up against someone like Zua-san? Will it really be okay? Seeing this, Kazu could only remain silent. Minato-san lacked confidence far too much. It might be due to the environment she lived in. In this world, they try to hammer down the nail that sticks out. Because they are afraid there are many people like that. Whether it's school or showbiz, she has been surrounded by such people. It's no wonder she lacks confidence so much. At that moment, Amane suddenly asked him, by the way, Suzuki-kun, you're Zua-san's childhood friend, right? And she likes you very much. That's amazing. But Kazu replied bluntly, not at all, it's just annoying. Then he made a request. You can call me Kazuma. Hearing that, she involuntarily blushed. Then I'll call you Kazuma-kun. And if it's okay, I'd be happy if you called me Amane. Without any hesitation, Kazu called her name immediately. Got it, Amane-chan. Her face turned even redder than a tomato. Her eyes widened in surprise. Her head felt like it was about to catch fire. Is something wrong? No, nothing. Then Amane shyly gripped her shopping bag. Kazuma-kun? I will do my best for the video shoot. Before long, Amane had filmed a video on YouTube herself. Hello everyone, I'm Minato Amane. I'm a voice actress. Today, I'll be performing my original dance, the Amanian dance. Voice actress, Amane-chan 41. Subscribers, sorted by comments. 5. In the video, she wore cat ears and a schoolgirl uniform. She still looked a bit awkward. I'd be very happy if you watched until the end. So here we go. Just like that, Amane struck adorable poses just like a cat. Then Amane, out of breath, said with sparkling eyes, "The music I just danced to. I'll be performing it at an event this Sunday. If you're free, please come and watch. Everyone please subscribe to the chan." Before she could finish her sentence, she was startled. The battery's dead, it's gone. Kazu was currently watching this video. He couldn't help but exclaim, "She's absolutely adorable." Despite some malicious comments, there were also people who were truly watching. I guess I should check out that person's channel. It's not like I care or anything. I'm just gathering information. And then a video popped up showing Rua was fuming and shouting curses. Suzuka Kazuma Makoto Suzuki Suzuo Kazuma. Suzuo Kazuma. Rua threw her head back and screamed, "Idiot, stupid moron! Am I not charming enough? Why won't you pay attention to me?" She lowered her head gloomily. "And that's why I'm going to say." Then she flipped her personality 180 degrees. "Hello YouTube, it's me Rua Hime. Your one and only RU is here." So now, what did everyone think of my little performance? Were you surprised? I was just channeling some of my recent frustrations to let out a little anger. Maybe I should put all of that into my acting. This is your super motivated Ruahan. I'm signing off now. Keep cheering for me, okay? See you all later. After watching, his face turned pale, completely bloodless. What on earth is with that mouth? Then Kazu broke into a meaningful smile. All right, if you want to play that badly, I will crush you without a shred of mercy. However, since she was a famous idol, Rua had thousands of views. In contrast, Amane-chan's video only had about 50 views. The difference in popularity was far too great. He instinctively remembered Amane's image. That Neon dance is still really cute. If people could just see it, it would surely go viral in no time. Then Kazu began opening his computer. What I need to do is make that happen. With that, he went on to recommend Amane's video online. I'm recommending this video. If you think it's good, please share it. I am Kazuma Suzuki, an introvert. I'm simply gloomy and have no friends. But online, it's a different story. In a mobile game, I am the vice leader of a guild. That's why I have a bit of a network. People started responding. The AI looks so cute. Kazuma Dono is so cool. As expected of our vice leader, you have great taste. Kazuma always helps me. So I'll share this video. A few days passed quickly, and on the screen, on the phone, Amane's video had reached 500,000 views in just 3 days. It was unbelievable. She stood before him feeling extremely flustered. So many views in just 3 days. Kazuma-kun, what did you do? He casually revealed, I just helped promote it a bit. Seriously though, if the video wasn't actually good, it wouldn't have gone viral. She was shocked to hear Kazu say that. It's all thanks to your talent. Amane-chan. Then she broke into a bright smile. I feel so happy. Just now someone I don't even know said they would come to the event. It's amazing. Kazu glanced over at the banner featuring Rua. Rua was also actively promoting this event. It was obvious that there would be many students from Seikai Academy attending. All that's left is to let her take the bait. Before long, at the secret library room, Rua came running in excitedly. Wearing a cat ear headband, she said, I'm back. As soon as Kazu saw Amane, he noticed Rua-san was wearing cat ears. Why? Rua immediately replied. I saw your stupid video. Even though wearing cat ears looks pretty good on you, let's play fair like this. I won't lose to someone like you. The event this Sunday will be the Battle of the Cat Ears. I'll definitely let everyone know who is cuter and more popular. Kazu looked at Rua coldly. I knew for sure she would come. After all, we are childhood friends. I know what she's thinking. That twitching corner of her mouth is hiding her frustration. Everything is in place now. Let's begin the counterattack against the top idol. Finally, the day of the event arrived. At this time, Amane had dressed in a short skirt. Kazu quickly arrived at the scene. Amane-chan. She greeted him back, Kazuma-kun. He then continued, Wait, isn't the dressing room over here? But Amane gave a forced smile. Yes, but it's because of Rua-san. Earlier, not long before that, when she was in the dressing room with Rua, Rua raised her voice, Hey manager, I don't want to breathe the same air as someone else. Upon hearing that, he blurted out, What a pig. Amane looked helplessly at the storage room. So I'll stay here. Kazu sat down on a chair and said, But this is actually good, we won't be disturbed. It's almost time for the performance. Just do as usual and you'll be fine. Being encouraged by him once again, she was a bit surprised. I watch you practice every day. You've improved a lot. Amane-chan, have confidence. After that, she couldn't help but wonder, Kazuma-kun, why do you go so far? Just for someone like me. I've been wondering why all this time. He didn't seem flustered by the question. He only spoke coldly. Why you ask, don't you feel it too? That our school is a bit harsh, she replied. You mean the privileges for scholarship students? Kazu said, I know this happens everywhere. But here at Seikai, the discrimination is too obvious. But if it's you, someone who isn't a scholarship student can shine. I think it could poke a hole in the system of this school. Realizing the underlying meaning, Amon blankly asked back, a hole me? Kazu continued with his words. Although, that was just part of what I used to think. The corner of his mouth instinctively turned into a smile. At first I saw how hard you were trying, and because of that I wanted to cheer for you. That's all. Amon looked like she was falling in love as she called out, Kazuma-kun. Suddenly Kazuma stood up and rummaged through his bag. Oh right. He held out a cat ear headband to her. I made this for you. Amane was startled the moment she saw it. Did you make this yourself? Kazuma-kun made this. He quickly confirmed, yeah. I was trying to find something that would suit you. Then I thought it would be faster just to make it myself. She took it and put it on her head. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. I'll do my absolute best. Suddenly Kazu reached his hand toward her head. Not like that. To Amani's amazement, he calmly touched it and adjusted it for her. You have to wear it like this. After doing so, Kazu gave a slight smile. It looks much better now. Amon immediately got flustered. Kazuma-kun, what are you doing? He cut her off. I once tried changing my hairstyle too. Remembering that time, Kazu continued to confide in her. I was invited to karaoke by someone, so I gathered all my courage to go to a salon. I felt like a new person, like being reborn in a light novel. The way people look at you will change. But for me it didn't. I was laughed at. But Minato Amane is different. Your face shows determination. You can shine. I'm sure of it because you, Amane-chan, have a big dream. And you're very serious about pursuing it. Right then a knock came from outside, interrupting the romantic atmosphere. The manager peeked inside and announced, Minato-san, it's time. Then Kazu held out his hand to her. Shall we go then? Let's take away all of that pig-faced girl's fans. Amon's cheeks flushed pink. Then she smiled brightly and took his hand. Yeah? Afterwards she ran outside, not forgetting to look back. I'm going. A shining girl has no enemies. Out on the stage, Rua was standing confidently talking to the audience. Thank you all for coming, it's your idol. Princess Rua here. The crowd below began to praise her. So cute. Cat ears really suit her as expected of Princess Rua. She immediately acted adorable. Today we're going to introduce a new unit. Princess Rua and her happy attendants. Since today is the debut, so I am planning to debut my first song. At that moment, Amane slowly stepped forward. Rua gave a fake, forced smile. I almost forgot to introduce our member. Amon walked out, her legs trembling uncontrollably. This is the person who will be singing with me. Minato Amane-chan. Though nervous, she tried her best to speak into the mic. Hello, everyone. I'm Minato Amane. Please cheer for me today. Suddenly, Rua's expression twitched. It turned out the crowd was whispering about Amane. Who's that standing next to her? She's so pretty, isn't she? Rua was extremely displeased. She reassured herself, they're only talking out of curiosity. Once I perform, surely. Rua then spoke up loudly. Well then, let's start singing. Everyone listen closely. After all, I am the one with the cute dream. The two began to sing and dance together. The whispers from the crowd reached Rua's ears. Who is that? You mean Amon, she's so cute. Everyone was focusing on Amane. Where did she come from? To be honest, she's prettier than Rua, right? Her singing and dancing are better too. Watching from the crowd, Kazu thought of Rua. This is your defeat. If we open with singing and dancing, I can definitely win, that's what you thought. While you were playing around, Amon was practicing diligently. Whether it was early morning or after school, her dancing like that radiates a cuteness that can reach the most sacred place. If you think about it, the result was decided from that very moment. You were jealous of a low-class person who could rise up, so you entered that battle, recklessly choosing a path you aren't even good at. Just like I did back then, coming to a place I didn't know, having to endure being mocked. Rua's face looked hideous right now. Kazu's gaze lowered. The me from back then and the you from right now are exactly the same. Suddenly he snapped out of it and remembered, let's go. Among the audience below the stage, there were a few rude guys gossiping with the crowd down there. He thought to himself as he turned to leave. Then I should probably get going too. At a place with a sign that read, staff only, no entry. Suddenly the phone in someone's hand vibrated. Damn it! What's going on? This person was standing on the stairs. I can't reach any of them. At the very least, I have to do something before the song ends. He grit his teeth tightly. Since it's come to this, there's no other way but to take down that girl. Kazu had arrived there without anyone noticing. He stood with arms crossed and wondered, "What are you trying to do, big guy?" As soon as he turned around, his eyes immediately widened in shock. Below him were his subordinates who had already been by Kazu, beaten until they were sprawled out on the ground. "What the hell did you do?" Kazu simply asked indifferently. "You're one of Takayasiki's men, aren't you? When Amane didn't perform her role properly, you were ordered to sabotage her." Caught off guard by the truth, he panicked. "What? How did you know that?" Kazu didn't say much more. He moved gracefully and quickly past the man, and with a single strike, he left the man's small back stinging in pain. The man's whole body slumped forward, and then he fell flat onto the ground. Kazu glanced back and sighed to himself. The quality of these henchmen, isn't it a bit too poor? How could they reveal secrets so easily like this? Truly B-grade stuff. On stage at this moment, both Rua and Amon were still performing. Kazu stepped back down into the audience area. He looked up feeling secretly relieved. Thank God. There shouldn't be any more problems, right? This was the stage that Amane had worked so hard for. Do those things bother you? He glanced slightly to the side. No. Even with interruptions, the audience is here now. Both your voice and your presence. You are shining now and no one can stop you. Then Kazu took a deep breath. Then he shouted at the top of his lungs, "Go for it, Amane!" Immediately, both Amane and Rua shared the same expression, in response to his sudden action. Amon gave a truly happy smile, with tears welling up in her eyes. As for Rua, it was as if she had just received a shock and she lost her focus, causing her leg to let out a loud crack while dancing. Just like that, she took a tumble and fell face first, right onto the stage floor. An incident occurred that was dubbed Princess Rua's faceplant. The event was a resounding success. Scene changes to the next day at school. News portals were filled with articles about Rua. Princess Rua makes an impression at her debut event. Rua's failure and Amane's performance. Everything continued as if nothing had happened. This is the foundation of Taikai music. Still the same dirty business. Kazu noticed what was ahead. But now she is shining and there is no stopping her, especially in this day and age of social media. Amon was currently surrounded by other classmates. They were praising her incessantly. "Amane-chan, I saw the video. The cat ears really suited you. You're trending now, your bangs look really beautiful." Seeing her like that, Kazu also felt happy. Thank God. If she's this famous, it'll be hard for Rua to mess with her. I bet she's pretty salty right now. Even the video of her falling is going viral. If you don't want to get caught in another scandal, you shouldn't do anything foolish. Now no one ignores Amane anymore. With talent and a steadfast heart, she will become even more popular. Just as Kazu was about to leave, Amane suddenly called out to him loudly, "Kazuma-kun." She clumsily weaved through the crowd. "Excuse me, sorry, please let me through." Amon panted as she reached him. "Kazuma-kun." "Good morning." He replied, "Morning." She suddenly made a request. "Pardon me, but if it's all right." Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Amon unexpectedly took the initiative. "Could you help me with my practice after school today?" Hearing this, Kazu was a bit confused. "Why, the event is already over." Amon immediately explained, "I got a role in a new anime series. I also received an invitation from another agency. I'm planning to switch agencies to a place where idols actually support one another. Besides the voice acting," she placed her hand over her heart. "So this time I want to practice dancing with Kazuma-kun." This left him with no time to react. "Huh, but Amane-chan." But without letting him answer, she stepped closer and cut him off. "You can't say that because—" Her eyes sparkled specifically for Kazuma-kun. "Amane, I want you to call me that." At that moment, Rua was standing nearby. The crowd had also witnessed this scene. She immediately screamed out, "Oi! How dare that wench do that to my Kazu?" Kazu felt a bit flustered. "Why is it that ever since you brushed your hair up, your personality has changed so much too?" Amon laughed happily and replied, "Maybe so." Suddenly, she stepped forward and grabbed his arm. "But if that's the case, then it's Kazuma-kun's fault, isn't it?" Their bodies drew close together. "Because you were the one who told me to pin my bangs up." The two of them were now only centimeters apart. "You have to take responsibility, okay?" This sight truly drove Rua insane. "What?" Her eyes rolled back and she collapsed backward in an emergency. "Princess Rua has fainted. Quick, call an ambulance." Call an ambulance. Amane's event had ended and it was now June. Since that day, Amane-chan had become quite famous. It seemed she had to balance her new career and her studies. The incident at the entrance, despite a few rumors floating around, for some reason, both Princess Rua and Amane liked a gloomy guy like me. I guess I should reconsider things. My life right now is fairly peaceful. Suddenly, some chatter outside caught his attention. "Are you serious?" "Asano-san, right. If I could go on a date with Ai-chan, I'd die a happy man. What a lie. Just then I happened to be there. She looked at him and remarked, "You're way too desperate for a girlfriend. That's not going to work. You're only saying that because you keep getting rejected by Dream. Isn't that right? The other day you even said you loved Amane-chan the most." Caught off guard by the truth, Asano immediately went silent, looking a bit embarrassed. His group of friends chimed in, "You're so easy to read." Asano quickly turned around and snapped at them. "Shut up, I only said that because it was Ai-chan." He began to praise her, saying she had a stunning appearance, top-tier fashion sense, and was a super talented student. "In our school's dance club, being able to date Hiragi? Ai-sama is just so cool." I pointed directly at Asano's face and raised her voice. "So that's your goal, huh?" The whole group burst into laughter once again. Suddenly she made a suggestive remark. "That's interesting, but did you know I already have a boyfriend?" Asano immediately looked soul-crushed. "Really?" The friends in the back also added fuel to the fire. "Asano, did you seriously not know?" "That's right, Ai's boyfriend is a college student. Just give up." I then put on a look of disdain. "That's why I have no interest in a guy without a car or money." Hearing this, he perked up instantly. "Money, I've got that too. I'll treat you to tea." I smirked slightly. "Whatever." She held up her designer bag. "Asano, do you see this? It's a new arrival released this month. My boyfriend bought it for me. I don't know the exact price, but it could pay for tea 1,000 times over." Asano was stunned. 1,000 times. He scratched his head. "Is that so? So the issue is money and looks." Off to the side, Kazu continued to observe the whole scene. That group of talented students is called the elite group. Actually, it's a bit awkward to say, but he noticed a female student standing there waiting. She was sitting at that small desk. Did she not know whose desk it was? Kazu suddenly noticed something. "I left that in the library basement. She managed to find it and borrow it. Well, that's fine. It would be a waste to just let it gather dust in the basement. It really is a good book. I guess she wanted to sit down to read." Kazu thought so, then fell silent for a moment. Then he suddenly stood up and called out, "Hey, Hiragi!" He pointed his hand directly at the desk she was sitting on. "Is that your seat? Get off!" Being spoken to like that for the first time, she was a bit surprised. But when she reacted, Iha got angry and growled back. Just like that, the two traded words. "You gloomy guy. Don't try to call my name so casually. You look truly terrifying. The bell is about to ring. Go back to your seat." "The bell hasn't rung yet, so whatever I want to do is my business, got it?" Seeing this situation, Kazu could only sigh, so stubborn. Recalling the time at the karaoke bar, I received a cold stare. It's clear that Hiragi hates me. Suddenly, he took a step forward. There's no other way then. To everyone's shock and Iha's bewilderment, he picked her up with both arms. This made her extremely embarrassed. Her face turned as red as a tomato. After moving, Kazu looked over at the girl with the braids. "Sit down quickly." She quickly returned to her desk, still flustered. "Thank you." Then Kazu set Ai down. She lowered her head and blurted out, "Hey, don't mess with me." "What do you think you're doing?" "This is just Rua's shadow." "Daring to do that to me. Don't think you'll get away with it." Just then, Rua entered the classroom and waved hello to everyone. Noticing the atmosphere was a bit strange, she wondered, is something wrong? Any trouble? Suddenly, Rua walked close to Iha. "Oh, Iha-chan, is something wrong? Do you need something from me?" She immediately felt a bit intimidated. "It's nothing special." Kazu, standing nearby, spoke up, "Hey, how many more times do I have to say it before you understand? We have nothing to do with each other anymore." With a face as cold as ice, he stood before Rua. "We're just strangers now." Upon hearing those words, Rua's eyes widened, showing clear sadness. Her tears began to fall just like that. Then she began to reproach him right in the middle of class. "Why would you say such cruel things to me? Even on that day, you cheered for that terrible voice actress instead of me." Honestly, I've been thinking about Kazu so much. But Kazu remained cold. "I told you I only stand by those who work hard." He turned his back and walked away without a single flinch. "Go ahead and be proud of results that aren't yours. I will never support a lazy pig who looks down on others." In the 1-1 classroom, Kazu quietly returned to his seat. "That's right, by breaking up with her, I'll be free. I can do everything as I please. As an ordinary student, earning money through my own effort is the most valuable thing. But this is my first part-time job. I don't know what would suit me best." Suddenly, a job posting caught his attention. Hourly wage 1,500 to 1,800 yen. Hiring cafe service staff. Details serving and cleaning tables. Friendly and pleasant environment. After reading it, he remarked, "The hourly pay is good. A servant, huh? Back when I was in middle school, I was forced to work at her mansion, under the pretext of serving the Takayashiki family or something like that. I was taught how to clean and serve by the head maid. It's a bit far away, but maybe my experience will come in handy." With that, he took a pen and circled the job. Not long after, at a cafe, the owner was very welcoming. "All right, It's settled then. You can start this weekend. Kazu was there and had finished the discussion. Yes? She remained very cheerful. Kazuma-kun, you look very serious and your manners are quite polite. I'm so glad I hired you. My shop isn't very large, so there will only be 2 people working out front. I'll mostly be stuck in the kitchen. But don't worry, you'll have a very reliable senior. She's a very good and kind girl, so don't worry. If there's anything you don't know, just ask her. The next day, Kazu arrived at the cafe. A reliable senior, huh? I hope they're a good person. He gently opened the door and stepped inside. Excuse me, I look forward to working with you. My name is Suzuki. Someone was inside sweeping up. As soon as she saw him, she was so shocked that she dropped the broom from her hand. No way! I can't believe it's you, Iha. You're a staff member here. Her face at that moment was a mix of embarrassment and disbelief. You're lying, right? There's no way you're the new employee. Kazu was also a bit surprised to see her in this state. In another place, Rua stood alone recalling his words, "Stand by those who work hard." She smiled happily, interpreting things in her own positive way. I understand now, Kazu. So you're putting my love to the test. I'll do my absolute best for you, Kazu.